It's changing! The tide is changing! Or so they say, huh? Is it really changing? I'm gonna be real. I hope it is changing. Start blasting some music already. I've been in silence for way too long today. Go back to Lake Hylia from Twilight Princess. Ah, tides are changing. Well, on one hand, right? Oh, Orange Man, Orange Man. Sure, Orange Man is doing things. Orange Man has been doing a lot of things in less than a week. It's actually scary. Not in a bad way, but I've seen some people being really disappointed with, there's a two Republicans. They're like, okay, but are you really gonna tell me this can just happen? You can just have a guy become president and do a lot of stuff in 5 days, and it just works? What's wrong with Republicans? Well, it's not just the Republicans, okay? It's just politicians in general. But yeah, yeah, right-wing politicians being, I don't know, completely useless, as being a plague for, yeah, 2 decades. It is that bad. It is that bad. But before we get into that, and we will, let's take a look into a couple of updates from last week. I need to bring up my browser here. I've been doing some research up until 5 minutes ago, so my setup is a little bit all over the place. Also, I can hide this, actually. Where's my emulator? No, my browser. Okay, there we go. So, we're going to start with Rocket Man. Elon Musk comes clean, admits to having multiple people playing on his top-ranked Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2 accounts. See? It was not that difficult. It was not that difficult. And you know what? I think he should have said from the beginning. But he didn't. After spending the last 2 weeks defending his supposed video game skills and personally attacking those who doubted him, I'm not saying he's bad at games, but it was clear that he was not playing everything by himself. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has finally come clean and admitted his placement among the top players in Path of Exile 2, and though no one was really questioning it, his success in Diablo 4 was only made possible thanks to multiple people playing on his account. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, I'm really sniffling today, and will probably be muting more than often to blow my nose. It's been really bad today, I don't know why. But you have been warned. As previously reported, Musk video game related controversy first kicked off when, during his June 7th livestream of Grinding Gear Games' latest title day, what a bunch of nonsense. Veteran Path of Exile players noticed that despite his account being among the top 10 highest ranked in the entire world, he seemed to be shockingly unfamiliar with the game and its mechanics. Further questions were raised by the fact that, as explained by streamer QuinnTV in his recap of the situation, the game's leveling system was designed in such a way as to require players to spend pretty much all of their time exploring its dungeons, in order to come even remotely close to Musk's level. I don't think he has the time, okay? He must be busy with his companies and family, at least he should. We said this before. And yet, the CEO was able to find the time to do so in between his SpaceX, Tesla, Twitter, and Doge-related work. Well, was he working for Doge back then? Probably not, but sure. We can include it, I think it's fair, to some extent. Eventually, the controversy will reach the attention of popular Twitch streamer Asmongold. The last name really Hoyt? It's kind of funny. After watching QuintTV's above video opined to his followers, the question is, did Elon Musk play this account to level 97? The answer is very simple. No. So confident was Asmongold of this fact that he even issued the direct challenge on the issue to Musk, declaring during a January 12th live stream that if he could prove that he played this account to 97, then the streamer would multicast his show on Twitter during the day that he proves it for an entire year straight. Was it really multicast? This is the first time I've seen the mention of multicast. What I've seen was it would be streaming on Twitter. Sure, he can multicast. It's not against the law or anything. I thought it was a little bit more, how to say this, higher sacrifice, perhaps. I think that we deserve an apology if you really play the game. Play through the campaign again, said Asmongold. Play through the campaign again, explain the system in the game, and do it live. And you gotta have face cam. You gotta do it. You did it before with Diablo. Diablo's not so hard, right? Oh yeah, stream it. You gotta stream the whole thing. And not on Twitter. And tell me ahead of time so you can react to it. Does this guy do anything else than reacting nowadays? I think he still plays games, right? But I think this is fair. It's just a campaign. I think it's fair. Also, not on Twitter, it's a little bit on the nose, but I get it. Also, well, no, that actually makes sense. Well, does it? I was thinking, right? He could use Twitter systems to cheat a little bit. Well, you can do that anyway. But yeah, I think this is fair. I think this makes sense. It's not even outlandish. They're not telling you you have to do it in a single day or anything. Okay, there's a huge recap. And you see, okay, it's fine, it's fine. However, instead of stepping up to the plate and proving his critics wrong, Musk instead respond to Asmongold's challenge with insults. Surely Elon Musk has nothing to hide. Replying to January 16th tweet from streamer StreamHardTV, I don't know who that is, in which he defended Musk's Path of Exile 2 prowess, simply due to his past success in the functionally and mechanically different Diablo 4. Strange. Is this glazing, as they say? Looks like it. The SpaceX boss declared, Asmongold behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He's not his own man. Stuff about the... Yeah, they're going to mention it here. About his editors. Not like in a newspaper, but video editors for YouTube, which is normal, by the way. It's pretty normal. The question revealing, via like DMs, that his claims regarding Asmongold being owned were based on his own misunderstanding of how YouTube editors work, rather than any actual evidence. Musk would ultimately assert, I'm in hundreds of streams on YouTube/Twitch, not live with the world's best players. That doesn't mean anything, but sure. It's the cloud of being Elon Musk, or dare I say, Adrian Dittman. Another way to say this, but while Asmongold is good at casting commentary and making fun of people, he's not good at video games. Which is outlandish. I've never followed Asmongold, but it's pretty well known that this guy was obsessed with World of Warcraft. If you're obsessed with an MMO, you're gonna be pretty good at it. It's the nature of the beast. And community noted, it works. Asmongold has achievements in WoW such as rank 12 Armed Warrior in Emerald Nightmare, rank 47 Armed Warrior in Blackrock, there's some for that, Foundry, and many more. Yes, we mentioned this the other week. In a classic case of digital Moldov protests too much, despite his aggressive denials, Musk would eventually admit to YouTuber Nico Rex, hope that's correct, that he was not the sole player responsible for operating his Path of Exile 2 account, or as he would reveal completely unprompted, his Diablo 4 account. Well. Now you have to apologize publicly. It's only fair. Using all the Elon Musk drumming Path of Exile 2 with Elon Musk. Was this actually Elon Musk or was it Adrian Dittman? God, that's so stupid. There are messages exchanged between the two on January 18th and shared with the public later that same day by Nick Rex. When asked directly by the YouTuber he had ever level boosted, and someone else play your accounts and slash or purchase gear slash resources for Battlefield 2 and Diablo 4, Musk reacted to his question with a one hand with emoji and exclaimed, "It's impossible to beat the players in Asia if you don't, as they do." Yeah. It's 2025. Asian players still cracked, huh? Funny. From there, Nick Rex would ask Musky regarding Battlefield 2. Do we say PO? Is that the abbreviation? It looks like it, I'm not sure. Was it your intention to take full credit for leveling up your hardcore characters? To which he will reply, no, never claimed that, but you act like that. That's the problem, Mask Boy. Boy? He's much older than me, I'm pretty sure. The top accounts in Diablo or Path of Exile require multiple playing the account to win a leveling race. He justified of his actions. Yes. That's why people were saying it's not by your hand. And that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if other people do it, I think it's not that bad in comparison. Naturally, one must never explicitly say the words, I personally leveled up these characters, or any variant thereof, and he publicly used the account without noting he had any help, and then also proceeded to publicly deny the fact, when called out, shows that he was, at the very least, taking credit by omission. Yes. Yes. I appreciate the pointing this out, because people might miss it. From there, Nick Rex took a moment to press Mask on the husband's Remy, asking him, was it just a misunderstanding of what the editor is in relation to content creation? Doubling down his attacks, oh... Elon, please! You're supposed to be smart! You don't look like it! A particularly baffling move given that he just admitted that his critics, from Asmongold to Queen TV, were correct in the readers that he did not level up his account. As he started, Asmon seemed to require permission from others to stream on X, Twitter, suggesting he doesn't control his own destiny. I'm pretty sure that's not what happened. That's not what's happening, but sure. Well, those are the editors or others. I don't know. He asserted. I understand that he's not a content creator, so he doesn't understand, right? But I don't think it's that difficult to understand how content creation works. Right? Am I crazy? God, I could be, I don't know. This is weird. Sometimes I have to wonder, when people say Elon Musk is stupid, are they right? They could be, I don't know. God, it's video editor, Elon, it's not difficult to understand. Red shoulder, still killing me. Then confirming that he's essentially just handed the keys to these accounts after others do the hard work of leveling it up. After admitting even his Diablo 4 success was not entirely his own, Musk ultimately argued that his accomplishments in the isometric dungeon crawler were still impressive, because very few players achieved sub-3 minute T150 clear, despite being at max level, and I haven't seen anyone else post his sub-2 minute clear apart from a player by the name of Resistance. Okay, I don't think people were talking about Diablo 4, but sure. Also, what people mentioned about Diablo 4 here was something like, it could be the case that you had someone grinding the account and then Elon just pops up in a stream and he just starts streaming on Twitter. He does that, or he did that from time to time, just to do some runs. Sure, it still takes skill, but it's not as impressive. Also, this is just self-glazing, like, come on guys, I'm a epic gamer still, I'm still the best. Elon, don't have to be the best at everything, because I don't think you can be the best at everything because you have limited time. Once again, that's still the issue. No matter how you cut it, the 17-minute clear of the hardest level in Diablo is very fast. He continued to defend himself. My wrong is posted to Twitter. Very few mistakes were made. Sure. Sure, I guess that's not what we are talking about, but sure. I need to blow my nose. I'm going to mute for a second here. We can take a look at this. Not the video itself, just the image. Not a call today, it's not a human today, I don't know why I'm so sniffly. I mean, what do you do while sleeping? I don't know. It's been bad for a while, but... God, sure. He comes clean, okay? Sure, Ilmas comes clean here, but at the same time... Why can't you apologize to Asmongold? He was right all along, and you were wrong. I do understand why when you have people questioning the situation by saying, okay, but this guy is, well, not going to anymore. He's actually now currently working with the USA government. He seems a little bit too volatile for such a task. Also, do we have to mention the alleged Nazi salute? It clearly wasn't the Sig Heil, even though people were saying, "Ah, it's real, we cannot allow Twitter links on Reddit, Twitter links on, well, our subreddits. Not every single subreddit though. We cannot allow Twitter links on our Discord server, he's so evil." To the point, they had Revise and the ADL, that I'm pretty sure was founded by Jewish people, saying, guys, it was not a Nazi salute, you're grasping at straws. You have literal Jewish people defending this guy, saying it was not a Nazi salute, yet people don't care. They keep running with the narrative, it's so ass. Sure, I can agree that the moment was a little bit strange, but if you watch the video, my heart goes to you or something like that. Sure, you can think it's cringe. It's fair, this guy is actually really cringe. That's fair, that's fine, that's nothing wrong with that. I don't think Elon Musk is a Nazi guy. Especially when this guy is actually pro-immigration, among other things. Look, I don't think the funny Germans were too keen on immigration. I could be wrong. Take a sip here of my water. Another update. Well, kind of update, I guess. From last week. I don't know exactly what they're going to say in this article. I usually don't pre-read the stuff. Sometimes I do if I'm doing actual research. That I read the title and I thought it was really funny because I do agree with the sentiment. Let's see if I end up agreeing with everything here or not. From Dexardo. Doctor warns about TikTok with real symptoms if app gets banned. I've seen many people on social media with withdrawal symptoms. There were also some short clips. I want to believe they were staged. People literally screaming about the ban. That's the problem with TikTok. That's the main problem with TikTok. Not the fact that it's Chinese spyware, which everything Chinese is probably just a spyware. Do you guys remember what was it again? The Epic store? Well, this was years ago. That had some strange security breaches. Do you guys remember stuff like what was it again? Was it the Valorant launcher? I want to say it was the Valorant launcher, but I don't remember. Also having some stranger stuff. Access to the... what was the name again? I want to say cluster, I'm not sure if it was cluster. But... access to... the... OS that no program should have. It was really weird. It was really weird. Are we sure TikTok is just fine and dandy? I don't think so. It's not bad anymore. It lasted, what, 17 hours? Disappointing. Disappointing, truly, Orange Man. Multiple doctors warned TikTokers that the app's potential ban could cause withdrawal symptoms for scrolling addicted users. Yes, that's also going to happen a lot with younger people, because they haven't suffered yet. Stuff like, oh, this site just died and you have to migrate. That was not uncommon back in the day. It became more uncommon with the advent of social media. And they will tell you, but social media is so cool. I don't think anyone is saying that, actually. Which is funny, because you have billions of people using social media. We may be just stupid, it's fine. A TikTok was made available in the US the day after going dark on Saturday. January 18th, I suppose. Some netizens still fear the app getting banned indefinitely. Also, I don't believe they're going to mention it here. But TikTok right now is being highly censorious. But to the other side, now you can say stuff about Palestine, like you have to free them or whatever. No, that's not allowed anymore. And apparently, from what some say, that's because they're trying to garner like good PR so they can be bought by Americans or perhaps even the government. I'm still not sure that's going to happen, even if they get 90 more days. We'll have to wait and see. But that's just... I don't see it happening, because they would want to protect their algorithm. I don't think making an algorithm such as this one should be that difficult. Do they have copyrights? It's China. Do we care? It's not China, it's Singapore. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. They still have ties to the CCP. In fact, if you're wary of another ban, as the platform is used by 1.6 billion monthly active users, making the 5th most popular social media platform. Not only does TikTok serve as an outlet for individuals to connect with others thanks to its many trends and interactivity, it also provides its users with the possibility of creating lucrative careers. Yes, okay, yes, I'm not saying that's not happening. Ah, but so many small stores run through TikTok. Sure, that's literally happening. That's fair. If you know the app is gonna be banned, why are you still only working on TikTok? Everything you upload to TikTok, you can mirror the upload directly, or perhaps on your own, to YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels? I think it's Reels, right? I think that's the case. So you can start growing audiences in different platforms. How is this a revolutionary concept? It shouldn't be. It's because I know a little bit about this, because streaming? I don't know. Are TikTok users brainlets? Yes. Moving on. TikTok has helped everyday people like Charlotte D'Amelio, Edison Ray, and Keith Lee turn into million-dollar moguls. I've seen the content on TikTok. Maybe they shouldn't be millionaires. I don't know what they do though. It's provided a place for rising influencers to bring awareness to their brands, and most notably, the platform has created one of the world's biggest digital town squares to share information and socialize. Well, to share some information, okay? Because obviously, some stuff is not allowed on TikTok, sadly. Ah, ban my free speech. Well, you don't have free speech on TikTok, so why should TikTok have free speech? Doesn't make any sense. TikTok is an app organization. It was not TikTok, it was, what, ByteDance? Whatever. But TikTok has its pros, and it's forewarned that the obsessive scrolling that inevitably happens might affect users if the app does eventually become banned. Might? They're so generous. They're so generous with their wording. I don't know if it's TikTok or what is it, but I've seen way too many kids. And I'm literally talking about kids, not just young teenagers. Kids. Let's say 8 years, 10 years, not even 13. Being addicted to tablets and whatnot. You're gonna tell me this has nothing to do with it? Maybe, it's hard to tell. I think it has something to do with it. Right, I mentioned it up here. Fifth most popular social media platform, after all. Experts explain how TikTok ban could leave users feeling irritable. Dr. Anna Lemke? Is that correct? I'm not sure. Stanford psychiatrist told the New York Post that if SCOTUS gets rid of TikTok in the US, users should expect withdrawal symptoms. The universal symptoms of withdrawal from any addictive substance are extreme anxiety, irritability, insomnia, depression, and cravings. And people who are addicted to TikTok, if they stop using it abruptly, may experience any or all of these symptoms, Lemke said. Just be a man and start drinking and start smoking. It's a joke, don't do it. But it shows that addiction doesn't have to be substances. We know this already, but it's a grim reminder. Lemke, who specializes in addiction medicine, also warned TikTokers of sudden mood swings, panic attacks, and feeling an extreme sense of negativity. All over a Chinese app. It's Singaporean, I don't care how many times they had to say it. Asians, they all look the same to me. Nah, not the BBC. And Dr. Victoria Dunkley, child psychiatrist, also weighed in how the lack of dopamine from less input could make former TikTokers feel exhausted. It's not a lack of dopamine, it's an excess of dopamine with the app, probably. That's... how curious. When you think about it, it's literally the same as porn addiction. Huh. Just brain chemicals after all. That's funny. It's not good. It's... well, it'd be fun if it wasn't so sad. TikTok is really a stimulation addiction, so to not have that constant dopamine input people get from scrolling, they may feel listless, like they didn't know what to do with themselves. They could physically feel tired, like they're crashing from the lack of stimulation input, said Dunkley. The best fix for this? Daily exercise. Unironically, it's actually really good. However, Dunkley noted that after 2 weeks, withdrawal symptoms should subside as dopamine receptors in the brain resensitize. Okay? The funny chemicals in the brain, once again, it's not good. It's not good! The TikTok was reinstated by POTUS. Those abbreviations are so funny to me, I don't know why. On January 20th, users have roughly 75 more days until a decision with its banishment is made. with the spell. Until then, TikTokers will be able to enjoy their daily scrolling without having to experience potential withdrawal symptoms. How is this happening? How are they so stupid? God. I need my fix. Don't you have a TikTok there for me, please, man? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. It's so ridiculous. And they will tell, oh, but the algorithms in different apps are just ass. I'm gonna teach you a secret. It's not the algorithms. It's the content. The content is ass. Have you seen YouTube Shorts, the ones that have millions of views? It is bad. It is nonsense. It is, as some people say, slop. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. I could agree that, to some extent, the algorithms could be better. Still, it's not going to fix the... It's not going to fix... You know, the content. The content still ass. It's always being ass, okay? So how are we surprised? We shouldn't be. Okay, let's see. I need to get fixed. This is so ass. So now let's get into the spicy stuff. Is Orange Man based? Well, he's fulfilling promises. One I did not expect to happen so soon. Breaking 911. Breaking! The Trump administration has ordered every government agency to shut down their DIFSs by tomorrow at 5 PM. Tomorrow 5 PM being Wednesday. It's a little bit crunchy, but please bear with me. Look, I'm gonna say, this is actually good, okay? This is good. This shouldn't be a thing. But is this gonna be enough? No. No. Let's see. I didn't have the funny markings on this one. Okay, hold up. We can skim a little bit through here. Steps to close, agency DIA offices. Inlet develop executive orders. It should take prompt actions regarding the offices and agencies of units, focusing exclusively, important, on DIA initiatives and programs, the EIA offices. Specifically, agency heads should take the following steps. And... Any radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing initial rescissions of harmful executive orders and actions. This is it, okay? It's only federal and federal related. It doesn't affect private companies yet. Can it affect private companies? I don't know. I don't know if they should. I do think this is a good step. Okay, this is good. And the fact that you have DEI in the government, well, it's not surprising. Have you seen their last administration? With dog people and whatnot, it was that bad. So, yeah. 5 PM EST, Wednesday, January 2022. Sending agency-wide notice to employees informing them of the closure, asking employees if they know of any efforts to disguise their programs by using coded or imprecise language. A template agency-wide notice is attached to Appendix 1. Coded or imprecise language could be useful, but I think it's just lip service. I don't think it's gonna be enough with the changes that have been enacted, God, it's past 2 years already. It's not nothing, it's looking better than what it was. I'm not discounting that. Send a notification to all employees of DIA offices that they are being placed on paid administrative leave effective immediately as the agency takes steps to close/end all DIA initiatives, offices, and programs. Notable employee letters attached as Appendix 2. Cool. Take down all outward-facing media, websites, social media accounts, etc. of DIA offices. They have been really fast with changing names. I've seen some stuff. I don't know if that's gonna be enough for them, but wait and see. Withdraw any final or pending documents, directives, orders, materials, and equity plans issued by the agency in response to non-repealed Executive Order 14035. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility in the federal workforce. Sure. Cancel any DIA-related trainings and terminate any DIA-related contractors. Cool! That makes sense. No later than 12 p.m. EST on Thursday, January 23, 2025. For 2 p.m. all steps taken to implement this memorandum, including a complete list of DIA offices and any employees who in those offices as... Who in those offices? I think I'm missing a verb here. As of November 5th, 2024. Complete list of all DIA-related agency contracts as of November 5th. Any agency plans to fully comply. I'm trying, okay? With above executive orders and this memorandum. No later than 5 p.m. EST on Friday, January 31st, is that next Friday. Submit to OPM, One Punch Man, a written plan for executing a reduction in force, action regarding the employees working in DIA office. Agencies should coordinate with OPM in preparing these plans, and list of all country descriptions or personal position descriptions that were changed since November 5th to obscure their connections to DIA programs. Honestly, this is good. Once again, I don't think this is enough. It's just private, it's just pure DEI. At the end of the day, even though they talk about using slimy language and whatnot, it's just pure DEI. We also have this. DHS just sent this to all employees. We're taking steps to close all agency, diversity, equity, inclusion and accessibility offices, and end all DIA-related contracts in accordance with President Trump's executive orders, yada yada. These programs divide Americans by race, waste taxpayer dollars, and result in shameful discrimination. How curious, we've been saying that for more than a year, and you only realize that now? Funny. We're aware of efforts by some in government to disguise these programs by using coded or imprecise language. If you're aware of a change in any country description or personal position description since November 5th, to obscure the connection between the contract and DIA or similar ideologies, please report all facts and circumstances to that email within 10 days. There will be no adverse consequences for timely reporting this information. However, failure to report this information within 10 days will result in adverse consequences. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Finally! Things could start to change. What do we have here? It's just a bunch of DI stuff. Oh yeah, this thing. Companies like Walmart, they have claimed they are scraping DI, but are they really? In a video, DI proponent Katie Talikowski telling us at WEF that while Walmart is publicly disavowing DEI, this is actually a ruse. I think we should save this. No, this is fine here, actually. This is fine here. How do you feel about this? Well, let me pause the music for a second, so we can properly listen to this. Have a couple of videos here.
And we mustn't be too US-centric, but there is no doubt that there are negative wins. There's a lot of talk about the anti-woke movement.
Negative wins?
Now, I think it is important that organizations double down internally on their efforts. And when we talk to our valuable 500 companies, I'm going to give you an example of Walmart.
Walmart, obviously. But, I mean, go back here. I failed to properly pause the video. It is important that organizations double down internally on their efforts. We've been saying that for quite some time already, huh?
Walmart, for example. Walmart have publicly, as you rightly said, gone out and said we are deprioritizing diversity and inclusion and equity. Now, I deal with a fabulous gentleman called Victor Calise, who's their chief
Calise, that's a funny name.
Accessibility officer. And I spoke to him when I'd seen the article, said this worries me. And he said, Katie, don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. They're just doubling down. We've seen that.
We are not changing anything.
We are not changing anything. He said it himself.
We're not cutting off our budgets. We are not deprioritizing anything that we are doing. We are just talking about it differently.
We are talking about it differently. I've been mentioning this for a long time. This is nothing new. But people are really slow on the catching game, I guess. It is that bad. It is that bad. We also have this from TPV Sean. I don't know this guy really, but I just found this today, a little bit for stream. WEF declares US election null and void that predicts Black Swan events will reset humanity in 2025. World Economic Forum has officially kicked off in Davos, and the global elite, led by Klaus Schwab, it's been a long time since we talked about the Schwab man here, are wasting no time making their agenda crystal clear. According to Schwab, the recent US election results are proof that America can no longer govern itself. He says that himself. I have some timestamps for this one. It's like 19 minutes. It's not a bad watch, but I just want to go to the actual clips here. His solution: first the United States to bow down to the authority of the globalist agenda through a series of covert and calculated attacks set to unfold in the coming year. In his deranged and chilling plenary speech, Schwab didn't mince words. The World Economic Forum rules the world, and now it's time to bring the American people into compliance. They're the good guys. They're supposed to be the good guys. Okay, the first timestamp here would be 150. Hold up. A bit too much. Around here, more or less.
State under the globalist New World Order.
The future does not just unfold. The future is shaped by us.
The future is shaped by us, but
particularly shaped by us here in this room.
By us here in this room. Free will? Not anymore, baby. It's not allowed. This one is 225. I think that's underlying. It is.
Is alive and thriving today.
The cooperative world order we imagined.
World order? They said it themselves, not me. It's so funny.
25 years ago has not turned into reality.
Oh, boo-hoo. Cry me a table, Linda.
Instead, we have entered a new era of harsh geostrategic competition. The world's major economies are vying for access to raw materials, new technologies, and global trade routes.
Why is that surprising? That has always been the case. More materials, more resources, more routes. That's more profit. That's normal.
From AI to clean tech. From quantum to space. From the Arctic to the South China Sea. The race is on. As this competition intensifies,
why is that surprising?
We will likely continue to see frequent use of economic tools, such as sanctions, export controls, and tariffs.
Yeah, that's AI-generated subtitles. It was tariffs, not terrorists. Why wouldn't this be the case? That's something I cannot fathom, okay? It makes sense. It's just countries, so it's going to happen. Okay? That's pretty normal. They're always clashing with each other.
That are intended to safeguard economic and national security. But it is important that we balance the imperative to safeguard our security, against our opportunity to innovate and enhance our prosperity.
That's so strange, right? Now we have security. We don't have improvement. What a strange thing to say.
In this spirit,
Another strange.
we will need to work together to avoid a global race to the bottom.
Global race to the bottom? I don't think that is true, not at all.
Because it is in no one's interest to break the bonds of the global economy.
I don't think they're breaking the bonds of the global economy. Right? They're just changing it, which is normal.
Rather, we need to modernize the rules to sustain our ability to produce mutual gain for
Modify the rules? Surely that's not a red
our
flag.
citizens.
Make no mistake,
I have to remind people, these people here have not been elected by anyone. Okay, that one's just 420.
regain control and bring the US to heel.
Trump has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician, has risen. Somebody who, if we were 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, dead politically, known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history.
Well, they were a little too fast in burning the guy, to be fair. But it was meant to happen, especially given the past 5 years.
Of a politician. And
I
then,
think it makes
therefore,
sense.
he thinks he can do anything.
We need to also
He thinks he can do anything. Well, he kinda does, to be fair.
factor in not only who's won, which is Trump, but who's lost, which is to say us. And I guess I would throw into that the epitome of the us who is losing here is Europe.
Not entirely wrong, but at the same time, that's Europe's fault. Because they became just like surface states to NATO and the USA. So, it's self-inflicted. It is messed up, but it is self-inflicted.
That the European Union and by and large its member states have misread the direction where events were going.
That's an understatement, but yes.
Causes that it is interested in, climate, human rights, some others, as well as the methods of diplomacy that it prefers, are simply being gradually kind of marginalized as something new, not necessarily something better, but something new moves into the center.
Something new. Okay, that was a little bit of just nonsense from that guy. Also, climate and human rights. You have a lot of people mentioning that on social media, but it's demonstrably false. What rights? None of them. Okay, this one would be 605.
Our annual risk report 2025 identifies the foremost risks, such as armed conflicts, extreme weather events, misinformation and disinformation,
misinformation. By the way, have you seen this guy speak? Can I complain about my accent, okay? It's not that bad in comparison.
increasing divisions within societies, within countries, cyber espionage, and many more.
Schwab's vision of
And we have final one at 11:30. It's kind of a long one, but it comes from a guy that was in Davos. Giving some insider information. Nothing crazy, but how it felt being there. I think it's pretty interesting.
I gotta tell you what I heard behind those closed doors in Davos, man. It was
Bang.
chilling. Schwab, he wasn't the man I've seen before. He was fuming. When he got up to speak, the room went dead silent. You could feel the tension. I mean, you've heard the usual stuff, right? Climate change, globalism, blah, blah, blah. But this time, it was different. Schwab was angry, real angry.
Angry.
He started by railing against the US election results like they had personally wronged him. He says, the
He probably believes that. He probably believes it's an affront to himself, which is kind of funny.
American people are too unpredictable, too dangerous. They cannot govern themselves anymore. He wasn't just mad about the election. It was like it broke him. He said, the US is an outdated experiment.
Broken by an orange man. Imagine that.
And if we let them keep going,
So sad.
they'll drag the whole world down with them. His voice was shaking. But then he gets all fired up. He starts talking about how we, the global elite, must act now, and we must do it fast. He's pacing around, all jittery, and he says, we can't afford gradualism anymore. We have to unleash chaos in 2025.
Unleash chaos? Surely, that's not a red flag.
We need to break down global economies, create political unrest, and have the people
Create political unrest. I think that's already a thing, but doesn't mean what you think it means, probably.
begging for a solution. He's talking about taking control of the narrative, no more pretending. He said,
Taking control of the narrative, no more pretending. 2025 is gonna be interesting, and if you know a little bit about India, that's probably bad.
American people need to be made to grovel. We've given
Hold up, let me go back a little bit here.
a solution. He's talking about taking control of the narrative, no more pretending. He said, the American people need to be made to grovel.
The American people need to be made to grovel. I don't think Americans like that.
We've given them too much freedom.
Too much freedom. And these are the good guys, apparently.
Now we make them obey.
We make them obey.
Telling you, it was like he
Yeah.
thought they were some kind of untamable beast that had to be broken.
Well, they can be really untamable, and I don't think it's bad.
He's so convinced that they need to restore globalist supremacy, as he put it, and that's exactly what he's going for. Total control.
Total control. Sure, this is just the believe this guy, whoever it is. I think it makes sense. I think it's really possible.
And here's the real kicker. Schwab went on about how 2025 will be the year they set everything in motion. Chaos will reign, and that's when they'll step in like saviors.
They're being like saviors, God. Why do they hate the Americans? They act the same. I don't know what to tell you.
He didn't say it in so many words, but the plan was clear. They'll start a global crisis.
In global crisis. Some people have been talking about that for a couple of years already. For 2025, so
And people will have no choice but to submit.
it's gonna be
It'll be like a new world order.
like a new world order. They love saying that. Why? Why would you say that?
But it's going to come at a price. The destruction of everything we've known. After he said that, it was like the whole room got heavy. He was shaking, his hands twitching, like he wasn't
Spaghetti, I'm sorry.
just speaking. He was delirious, like he could see the world crumbling around him, and he was trying to force it into shape. He's obsessed with this vision, man. He talked about how they need to fast-track the New World Order, how this was the only way forward. I've been in this game long enough to know when someone's lost it. And Schwab, he's there. He's in full-on panic mode. But the thing is, he's serious. These people are serious, and they're ready to burn everything down to make sure they're the ones left standing.
Yeah, they're really that far gone, and I don't think it's surprising. Especially when you know that they are trying to change society, dare I say, and force a new kind of feudalism. Well, if you had to sacrifice the plebeians, so be it. Also, didn't the Georgia Stones, which was a WEF ploy, by the way, mention something about leaving just 500,000 people alive? Not 500 million, 500,000. I could be wrong with that one.
And it's not just them. They've got the power to do it. But we can't let them. We can't let them tear everything apart, man. I'm just telling you. 2025 is when they'll make their move. They've already started laying the groundwork. And if we don't wake up now, we'll be in the middle of their chaos with no way out.
These
It's wild. It's wild, man. It's actually wild. And some people will wonder, but why do you hate these people? Why wouldn't you? It is that bad. It's not surprising. Activate music again. Honestly, man, honestly, it's really ass. And I hope they fail, obviously, but I hope they fail completely. And something that could happen, I don't know exactly if it will be the solution, but it could be a possible solution. You have countries like Germany with elections soon. Actually, don't they have elections literally today? I could be wrong. And if they actually vote for what's the name again? Alternative for Germany? I don't remember the name in German. It could be a good step forward. I don't think it's gonna be as explosive as Orange Man, but it could be okay. There were also some clips from Giorgia Meloni, the Prime Minister from Italy. Like, okay, but why is the European capital not Rome? I think it makes sense. I think it should be. Sure, she's sweeping for home, she's batting for home, makes sense. But at the same time, there's no better capital city for Europe than Rome. Perhaps the Vatican, but I don't think we should go there. Not anymore, at least. So there's that. There have been, well, I have to mention this too, right? Since they mentioned how the US election is null and void. Have you seen Romania? They had elections, what, 3 weeks ago, something like that? And they were deemed void by the powers that be because they elected someone that the powers that be don't like. If I think Romania should be really pissed, that would make sense. And I'm not sure about other countries in Europe. I think Ireland maybe they could have elections kind of soon. I don't know if they're going to how to say it. You know, the thing. I'm not Joe Biden, I promise. I'm a little bit more lucid. Sometimes. Man, some countries have earlier elections. I don't know if that's gonna be the case or not, but I think France has been fumbling around elections a little bit too much lately. So they could have a surprise elections. Who else? The UK? I think the UK is set pretty much. There's a couple other countries, but I'm not sure. Also, I think it was Poland that they have elections kind of soon too. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Also, more stuff from with the announcers here. Big news, an NSA whistleblower has alerted me that the NSA is intended to head their DI program by renaming it the Equal Employment Opportunity and Accessibility Group. As you can see, the training is the same, and within it you find DIA as tradecraft. That's so disgusting. Okay, sure. We can open this a little bit. Personal share with the agency about that effectively December 1st will no longer be referred to as DIA. Although the mission will remain the same, we have been renamed as the Equal Employment Opportunity and Accessibility Group. Is this surprising? It's not. So, hey, Robbie Starbuck, thank you for realizing stuff. Wow, he's so ahead of us. Well, He will be if this was 2023. It's 2025, so he's really far behind. DI Tradecraft. I had to go DIT, DI Tradecraft. I don't know. Yeah, director of the new thing here. And I'm pretty sure they're just snitching about this right now, which makes sense. So, obviously, when we get to this next tweet from Robbie Starbuck from yesterday about Target, surely he's noticing, right guys? Surely he's noticing, he's not. Massive news! Target is sending many of their woke policies. I can now exclusively tell you what's changing and how it happened. And he mentions the usual stuff here, right? Service no longer the HSC's World Corporate Equality Index. Who cares? This is not the message, this is just... Look, we are in the ranking, optional ranking, so who cares? Products. Target will not market Pride merchandise the is going forward. This was not in their statement today, but confirmed to me by a Target rep be found today. I don't have it on tap, but I've read the article. If you read the Reuters article about this event, they mention how they started doing this in 2023. Though, to be fair, they're linking an article that's early 2024. Still, it's not new. Once again, it's not new. Sponsorships. Target will further evaluate corporate partnerships to ensure they are directly connected to our roadmap for growth. You should read this as no sponsoring events to sexualize kids. You made that the fuck up, okay? That's not what they said at all. That's not what they said at all. We actually don't know. DI. Target will end their 3-year DI goals. But I don't think it's premature, so I don't think it counts. There will be no preferential treatment for diverse suppliers. That's also normal, I think. Target will end their racial equity action change, that's rich, initiatives in 2025, which is funny, because this guy doesn't know how to read once again. Here it is. Target employee resource groups will be expected to focus on the core business, mentorship and growth, not wokeness. Hey, he keeps yapping about nonsense, he has a video, and the video is very much useless as per usual. So let's go and read the actual statement from the company. Target's belonging at the bullseye strategy. Literally, the second word is belonging. This tells me they're not changing shit. Let's take a look here. We remain focused on driving our business by creating a sense of belonging for our team, guests, and communities through a commitment to inclusion. First sentence. We are doubling down with the message. It's gonna be using different words, but the message is still the same. Belonging for all is for all. Sure. It's an essential part of our team and culture, helping fuel consumer relevance and business results. They said the same about DEI, and it was a blatant lie. In every area of our business, we're constantly listening, learning, and adjusting to set ourselves up for long-term success. As we start the new fiscal year, we're continuing to shape the next chapter of belonging at the bullseye. Our strategy is building our team. We recruit and retain team members who represent the communities we serve, and fuel a culture where everyone has access to opportunity and growth, enabling our team to deliver business results. Represent the community we serve. And if you look at the numbers, it's something like 56, between 54 and 56% women, between 54 and 56% minorities, as in, dare I say, people of color. I don't think that's correct, not in the framework of the USA. Our guests went to create joyful experiences through an assortment of products and services that help all guests feel seen and celebrated, increasing relevance with consumers. This is just stakeholder babble. Our communities. We will deepen lasting relationships with the communities we serve. Thriving impact, economic vitality, and connection that fuels loyalty. More nonsense. This is just mass stakeholders. So this is the important part. Through 2025, we'll be exploring action in key areas and implementing changes with the goal of driving growth and staying in step with the evolving external landscape. We will continue to monitor and adjust as needed. Current actions include concluding our 3-year diversity, equity, and inclusion goals. They don't say it's premature, so I'm going to assume 3-year goals just came to an end because 3 years passed. Concluding our reach initiatives in 2025 as planned. So, Robbie, you're not doing shit here. It was as planned by themselves. Ensuring our employee resource groups are communities fully focused on development and mentorship. What kind of mentorship? These communities will continue to be open to all. Sure. Continue to be open to all. So is it gonna be the same nonsense? Probably. Further evaluating our corporate partnerships to ensure that they are directly connected to our roadmap for growth. Wouldn't that mean, with the worst possible read, wouldn't that mean that their partnerships are now they are now tied to their belonging goals? It could be the case. Stepping all external diversity-focused surveys, including HRC's Corporate Equality Index. This means literally nothing. This is actually really good for them, because if they're not in the index, they're a little bit more stealthy. Moving our supplier diversity team to supplier engagement to better reflect our inclusive global procurement process across a broad range of suppliers, including increasing our focus on small business. Our focus. Robbie, are you stupid or are you evil? Tell me, are you stupid and you cannot read what they're telling you here? Or are you part of the plan? At this point, I don't know, and at this point, I don't even care. This guy is useless and is helping all these fucking companies go into the down low, claiming, oh, victory is win. You don't need to keep looking, guys. And to be fair, his way of working makes no sense to me. We were about to make an expose on the company. And I had to wonder, what kind of expose? If you go to the websites, they have a bunch of DEI shit plastered all over it. How is that new? Right? For example, if we go back to the City Pretty Thread, and you had the CEO was a couple of weeks ago, being like, oh, but we don't do DEI stuff. Like, dude, you do. It's on your website. I've seen it. It's public. What do you mean by this? Do not lie to me, okay? Do not lie to me. I will find out. And I will get mad. You don't want to see me mad. And obviously you have a lot of people, oh, Robbie Starbuck, you're so cool. You're doing so much. He's doing nothing. He's doing literally nothing. Nothing useful for us, at least. If anything, he's doing stuff that is useful for the companies themselves. It is that bad. It is that bad. I'm so sick and tired. My goodness. What else do we have here? Going from DI into games a little bit here. Reflector Entertainment admits Should Baby Inc. influenced Unknown Nine Awakening was a failure. And answers resulting in staff cuts and cancellation of their next original game. Oh, so sad to see. So sad to see. It's not sad. It's not sad at all. Bandai Namco's subsidiary, Reflector Entertainment, has announced that not only was their debut title, Unknown Nine Awakening, a commercial failure, also that its poor performance has led the developer to both cut its workforce and cancel their next project. This happens a lot. It's been happening a lot lately. Oh, holy shit, look at this. Look at this. This is worse than Concord. Holy fuck. Sure, might be just single player, but 285 all-time peak? 14 players, 24-hour peak? God, that's ass. If you didn't play or even hear about Unknown 9 Awakening, we don't blame you. I know about it because I'm deep into sauce, but it's really bad. Despite having wow, Bandai Namco executives enough to have them outright by the Canadian-based Reflector Entertainment, when the game released on October 24, the third-person action adventure title did so to an all-time peak Steam concurrent player of just 285. An abysmal result by any metric. To add insult to injury, these numbers do not represent the game's sales on the platform, as copies of Unknown 9, one of these two, were given away for free to anyone who bought an AMD X870 or X870E motherboard. Was this one of the games that had, I got this game for free, and I still feel ripped off? Yeah, it is that bad. Look at this. Look at this, the characters, they're so appealing. The reasons behind this lack of interest in Unknown 9 Awakening are plenty, ranging from performance issues, the protagonist Haruna sporting a particularly androgynous, which is considered even more egregious, given that she was being portrayed by The Witcher star Anish Cholotra, to the heavy involvement of infamous narrative consultancy company, Sweet Baby Inc. It's not surprising, but at the same time, them sweet babies are not really losing work, so you know it's bad, and it's gonna keep happening. It was in light of the game's failure that, on January 20th, Reflector Entertainment issued a statement confirming that not only had the game underperformed, but that as a result, the studio will no longer be moving forward with their next project, which apparently was already in development. Oh, so sad to see. Well, fuck around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Make bad game, game no sale. You get fucked. Why is that so difficult to understand? In a post on LinkedIn, Reflector CEO and Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe COO Herb Wert, is that correct? That doesn't sound Canadian to me, but who knows? Inform the public. Today, I informed our teams that they made the decision to not greenlight further work on a future project that was in conceptualization phase, and thus terminating this development line. Continuing the spirit will not have been sustainable for the future of the studio. It's barely sustainable for bigger companies like Sony. And they can make, actually, good games, at least games that sell. This decision correlates directly with the failure of the studio's ambitious and courageous first project, a new IP with a rich transmedia universe. Transmedia? Not funny, haha, social stuff. Yes, they have like comics and whatnot, right? I think that's the case. The performance of the release didn't come near the company's expectations. After numerous timeline adjustments and investments, both financial and other, and didn't warrant any further exploration in this universe. Not money? So sad. As detailed on the official Unknown 9 website, the plans to build such a transmedia universe around the IP encompass the game. A comic book tie-in, a novel trilogy, as written by noted Dominic Ray, novel series scribe Leighton Green, a comic book run, and 2 separate web series, all of which were supposedly completed prior to this announcement. That is surprising! Also, if the game didn't sell, how are you making so much shit already? Seems like a bad idea. Also, wouldn't it have been better to make comics and whatnot first? And if they made the game, I think comics are way cheaper to make, right? I could be wrong. Unfortunately, this also affects back office staff, bringing the support teams in line with the single project approaches the studio will adopt in the immediate future. Added Hort. Where possible, staff will be assigned to this project, based on existing Bandai Namco IP, which is shipping up very well. Further Entertainment will be providing adequate severance packages, extended health benefits, for affected staff and their families, continued access to emotional, mental health, and counseling services, and finally proactive career planning support to set them up for future success. Future success when they had to deal with this? That seems like a cope. I don't know. Bandai Namco Entertainment in Europe will continue investing in creating Western content for global audiences, in line with the group's vision. That's the problem. You keep saying global audiences. It's not a thing. It's not real. Why did you keep trying? This is not really the same. We don't need to real. Not only this, but the second round of layoffs undertaken by Reflector Entertainment since Unknown 9's release, unsurprisingly. In November 2024, the studio announced that service. The end of the service, perhaps? Of refocusing our efforts as we enter a new phase of development. They would be cutting approximately 18% of their total workforce, with those affected being devs, for assigned to roles that our active credits require. Oh, so sad. So sad, me. So sad. How could this happen to us? But the games are still fine, right? Games are still good. Games are still selling like hotcakes. $70? I don't know. You know what I think? I think $70 is way too cheap for games such as this. See, that's why they don't sell enough, because they're too cheap and people think they're bad. There's hope that GTA 6 will cost as much as $100, says analyst. The $100 price for GTA 6 would be a turning point for the industry, it's claimed. Matthew of Epilion, what a cool name, has released his State of Video Gaming in 2025 report, which means how the video game industry could change in the forthcoming year. One large focus of the report is GTA 6, which will doubtlessly be the biggest video game release of the year. Can you imagine if it flops? I don't think it will happen. But can you imagine though? It won't happen. Probably. It make its planned 2025 release date. Okay, according to the report, there's hope in the video game industry that publisher Take-Two will use the unprecedented excitement around GTA 6 in order to bump out the default price of the game to $100. It's believed that if Take-Two took this step with GTA 6, a game that will sell incredibly well regardless of the price, then others could follow suit, and potentially aid in recovering spiraling development costs. Regardless of the price? It's gonna sell regardless of the price, but is it gonna be incredibly well? I don't think so. This is not the first game to try and sell for $100. The first one was Starfield, I think. That's the Bethesda game, right? That was a massive flop. I think that's correct. Spiraling development costs is also really fun. If it's so expensive and you're not selling enough, your business is failing. Imagine. And it's not the customer's fault, okay? GTA publisher Take-Two was one of the first to raise the price of games from 60 to 70 in 2020, using the transition to the next generation of consoles as an excuse. But I don't think they had a new game in 2020, right? Well, it is likely that GTA 6 will be released with a $100 version as a part of lineup of various special editions. It's currently expected that the standard case game will be $70. Gaming budgets have exploded in recent years, as expectations have grown for how much content is included in a game. However, in response to this, video game prices have stayed largely stagnant outside of the recent $10 bump. In order to offset this, game makers have begun offering incentives they can produce without any extra cost, but they still charge for. For example, many large games now offer an early access window of a few days to those who are willing to buy the most expensive version of the game. That's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay, first of all, gaming budgets have exploded in recent years. Fact check? True. As expectations have run for how much content is included in a game. Fact check, false. It's not about the content. Funny thing, it's not about the content. And you can say that with remakes. Well, is it about the content? To some extent, but I don't think it's outlandish. You have remakes from 20-year-old games and they have actually less content. That's bad. That's on you, the That's not on the customer. You're offering a bad product. But it's not how much content is included in a game. They are actively taking stuff from the games that were staples, like New Game Plus for the Yakuza games. And you have to spend the big dick monies to get that. Also, we have to mention, all of these companies are extremely bloated with people that are completely useless. Missing the time and time again. Video game prices have stayed largely stagnant. Do you think $70 is already a lot? Because some of these games are not really that long. I'm not going to pay $70 for a game that's, what, 15 hours? I had to be smoking. Let's see. Game makers have begun offering incentives they can produce without any extra cost, but still charge for. Don't you think that's bad? You're paying for literally nothing. This reminds me of cars, actually. Oh no! You want heated seats? Well, that's a subscription. Back in my day, there were extras. Sure, you had to pay more for them, but you paid once, which makes sense. People will start hacking cars and it's gonna be funny. And my takeaway from this would be $100 being the new normal? Please do it. Please do it. Cannot wait for gaming to crash and burn because they're completely useless and they don't know what they're doing with their own business. Please do. It's gonna be so funny. It's gonna accelerate the crash so much. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. So please, do it. I'm waiting. Do it. No balls. Come on, do it. Do it now. Make me happy. Make me happy for once. Speaking of games that keep crashing and burning. Still from Video Games Chronicle. EA blames underperformance of Dragon Age and EA FC25, that's... Bobong? I'm not sure. As it lowers forecast. Dragon Age developer missed the company's expectations by nearly 50%. I think they didn't fail enough. EA's initial guidance for its current fiscal year ending March 31st anticipated middle single-digit growth from its live service games, including FC25. However, the company warned the market on Wednesday that it now expects mid-single-digit decline, within FC25 a slowdown during the Christmas period, accounting for the majority of the change. Separately, EA said on Wednesday that Dragon Age The Vanguard, released in October, engaged around 1.5 million players during the 3 months ended December 31st. 1.5 million seems like a lot for this game. I'm not sure. Also, they mentioned engaged. Are they counting live streams? That could be funny. Which it said was nearly half of its expectations. It now expects net bookings of around 2.21 billion USD for its third quarter, and an updated range of 7 to 715 billion for the fiscal year, down from 7.5 to 7.8 billion. During Q3, we continue to deliver high-quality games and experiences across our portfolio. However, Dragon Age and EA Sports FC25, okay, it was some sort of sport thing, I suppose, underperformed our net booking expectations, said EA CEO Andrew Wilson. This month, our teams delivered a comprehensive gameplay refresh in addition to our annual Team of the Year update in FC25. Positive player feedback and early results are encouraging. We remain confident in our long-term strategy and expect a return to growth in fiscal year 26. Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. As we execute against our pipeline, Stuart Canfield, CEO of EA, added, "We continue to balance investment for future growth with operational discipline. I remain committed to EA's long-term financial framework. As we look to fiscal year 26, we expect to grow as we launch more of our iconic franchises. Like Dragon Age, which you completely butchered? It's not me saying that, it's the fans. Dragon Age development was released in sure. EA Sports FC 25, meanwhile, received the franchise's most significant mid-season gameplay overhaul to date last week, which included some of the most sought-after community requests, according to EA. And you know this is bad when this happens. We have Smash JT here. EA stock currently down nearly 20% as Dragon Age development flops. And you can see the number here. 17.49% today. This was 2 days ago. But it may be difficult to see here. How about this better graphic here? That's a big dip. Not a big dick, but a big dip. It's not looking good. It was pretty stable, perhaps even growing a little bit. And it completely crashed. And as some people say, well, that means that Dragon Age was actually a loss of nearly 5 billion USD. I don't know if that's a correct figure, but that's what people say. So that's interesting. That's interesting. Will they crash and burn too? You know what? Sure. They will be finally entertaining, not because of their games, but because of their decisions. So funny. What else do we have here? Okay, now we have a couple of infuriating news, and we'll finish for today. It's also kind of an update from recent events, and it is extremely disgusting. An exclusive US whistleblower says MasterCard Visa failed to stop payments for child sex abuse material on OnlyFans. Even though they keep attacking illegal Japanese content, they fail to stop for this stuff, and this is nothing new. Apparently the first reports are from 2019. That's 6 years ago already. It's from the Star, but I think the source Reuters, which is fair. MasterCard and Visa failed to stop their payment networks from laundering proceeds from CSAM and trafficking on the popular website OnlyFans. According to allegations in a previously undisclosed whistleblower complaint filed with the US Treasury's Financial Crimes Unit. The whistleblower, a senior compliance expert, excuse me, in the credit card and banking industries, said the two giant card companies knew their networks were being used to pay for illegal content on the porn-driven site since at least 2021. I might have gotten the year wrong then. They accused them of turning a blind eye to flows of illicit revenue. Interesting. The complaint was filed in January 2023, that's 2 years ago, with the Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN, and the US Justice and Homeland Security Departments, the whistleblower said. The complaint said that the whistleblower and other anti-trafficking experts, including US federal agents, alerted Visa and MasterCard to unlawful content on OnlyFans in a series of calls in 2021 and 2022. The federal agents corroborated the presence of child sexual abuse material on OnlyFans, the complaint said. So it was not just an allegation, it was confirmed by the feds. How are the feds the good guys? You know this story is really messed up. It also drew heavily on 2022 study by an anti-trafficking group that said they had found high volume of OnlyFans accounts with common indicators of child sexual abuse material or sex trafficking. The whistleblower said he helped with the study, which was shared with the card companies. Now, you know what is bad? lol stuff. Lol stuff is bad. This seems like your average day on Twitter, but it's way worse because it's Visa and MasterCard and it's actual exploitation. God, what the hell? OnlyFans, Visa and MasterCard process payments between content creators and their customers. When the content is child sexual abuse material, the guide companies are directly handling the proceeds of these illicit transactions, said the complaint. Not wrong. By continuing to process payments on OnlyFans, MasterCard and Visa had willfully failed to maintain effective anti-money laundering programs required by the Bank Secrecy Act. Sent the complaint, which urged FinCEN and the two other federal agencies to take action against the card companies. How is this real? How is this real? Are these people ignorant or just evil? It comes to a point when it doesn't really matter. It's impossible to distinguish, so I had to say this. The evil they produce is the same, and you don't need to care about the reasoning. Writers reviewed an email confirming FinCEN had received the complaint. In response to questions, the agency said it doesn't confirm or deny the existence of whistleblower complaints. Okay, that was not the point. The Justice and Homeland Security Departments declined to comment. Okay. Writers could not determine what action, if any, the agencies took in response to the complaint, which was filed under FinCEN's anti-money laundering whistleblower program, launched in 2021. Let's take a sip here. Excuse me. My throat. My throat is dying. Under that program, complaints are confidential and the identity of whistleblowers is protected, which makes sense, but we know it exists. However, writers reviewed the complaint, interviewed the whistleblower on condition of anonymity, and corroborated his identity and credentials. The complaint said he had extensive expertise in fighting money laundering. In an interview, the whistleblower said the agencies never contacted him to discuss his complaint. The card companies had the power to turn off the switch, to stop illicit material from being monetized, he added. Just like in Japan, but I guess lolly stuff is far more dangerous than this. MasterCard and Visa said they hadn't heard of the 2023 whistleblower complaint until Reuters contacted them. I just don't believe you. I just don't believe you. They disputed the complaint's allegations and cited their efforts to keep their network free of illegal activity. Sure. Sure. God, it's so bad. Visa spokesperson said financial institutions or merchants that don't comply with Visa's reverse compliance requirements will be terminated from its network. The company is best-in-class controls to detect and remediate illegal activity, the spokesperson said. Clearly not, if it keeps happening. MasterCard holds all uses of its payment system to high standards, and if illegal activity is identified, we work with partners to act, its spokesperson said. 3 government agencies hadn't referred any specific illegal activity for us to investigate or act on. The spokesperson added, I just don't believe you. No evidence of current illegal activity has been provided to us, despite the whistleblower's claim, the spokesperson said. Who do we believe here? Visa MasterCard or the feds? It looks like a joke, and it kinda is, but it is that bad. The spokesperson denied the MasterCard had failed to maintain effective anti-money laundering programs. The company has strong governance standards through a comprehensive compliance program and strong internal controls, he said. Since the whistleblower complaint was filed, Reuters uncovered more allegations of child sexual abuse and sex trafficking on OnlyFans, a porn-driven site that generates money through subscriptions and pay-per-view content. And this happening on OnlyFans is not surprising at all. In July, the news organization reported that hundreds of sexually explicit videos, images of minors, some as young as toddlers, have appeared on the site since 2019. That's where I got the 2019 number from. Current allegations in police complaints. In December, a child exploitation investigator told Reuters that he reported 26 OnlyFans accounts to authorities that appear to contain sexual content featuring underage teen girls. Wasn't there a huge uproar some time ago? Because there were actually younger teenagers doing this stuff in OnlyFans. With younger meaning illegal, right? 16 and 17? That's illegal. You cannot do that. The accounts were quickly taken down, said the investigator. Another story focused on women who said they had been sexually enslaved, sometimes by a fiancé or boyfriend, to make money on the platform. Yeah, that's... I'm not going to pay you, shut up. What the hell? What the hell? Paying for this? Really? No. In the MasterCard, the spokesperson called Reuters findings on child sexual abuse on OnlyFans alarming. They said law enforcement or certain child protection groups will need to provide evidence of illegal activity for the company to act or investigate. I'm pretty sure they did, right? This didn't comment on whether the company was investigating Reuters findings. Oh, how convenient. You can visit OnlyFans and respond to questions about the whistleblower complaint. On its website, the company says it enforces a zero-tolerance policy against any content related to child abuse or trafficking, and blogs or takes down material that violates its rules. There's always stuff slipping through the cracks. I get it. But still, it's a problem because it's gonna happen. That's me giving them the benefit of the doubt, okay? In Senate also reports illegal content to law enforcement and child protection groups. In a previous statement, OnlyFans told Reuters it works to aggressively target, report, and support investigations and prosecutions of anyone who abuses the platform. If true, good. Good. Efforts for this are never enough, sadly. But at least they're trying, I guess, unlike Visa and MasterCard. OnlyFans is one of the world's fastest growing and most lucrative creator platforms. It relies heavily on payment cards to process subscriptions, tips, and other transactions, but it has more than 300 million users. And there's 4 million content creators. I know that not everything is spicy in OnlyFans, but it is known for that for a reason. Surging profits have made it the leader in the creator economy. In September, OnlyFans reported 6.6 billion in gross payments to creators, up 20% from the year before. It made 1.3 billion USD in revenue. It's not illegal, I still dislike it. This article is kind of long, actually. Thank goodness we have time. And comfortable images. Many porn websites are free and make money mostly from advertising. OnlyFans, by contrast, take a 20% cut of the income its creators earn from selling content to subscribers. You must enter their cut details to pay for it. They are more generous than Twitch. Ha! Funny. OnlyFans accepts cards by MasterCard, Visa, Discover, and some of their partners. In certain countries, it allows other options such as online payments provider PaySafe, which didn't respond to requests for comment. Why would they? To be fair, it's really far removed from this situation. American experts can't be used on OnlyFans under a long-standing global policy that prohibits its cards from being used for online adult content. Okay. Payment services such as Apple Pay and Google Pay also have similar policies against online porn transactions. Sure, whatever, I guess. Weird, but sure. Do you have to keep reading this? I think the important part we already covered, right? Am I wrong? In 2020, Visa MasterCard and Discover blocked customers from using their cards to make purchases on Pornhub, another big adults-only platform, after a public outcry over alleged child sexual abuse material and other illegal content. This stopped card payments Program helps pay the content and force it to rely more on ads and sales of user data. Wow! They said directly, huh? That bad. What the hell? 2023 vessels introduce stricter rules for its high-integrity risk merchants. This includes adult-related businesses, data and services, gambling, and pharmacies. Under the rules, banks are expected to more closely monitor merchants to prevent illegal transactions. The whistleblower complaint said the card companies appear to be shifting the blame for processing payments related to child sexual abuse material onto banks. We'll carry on with business as usual. Mr. Masker did not comment on that assertion. Everyone here is scummy, and they should all disappear. I don't like them. Any of them. God, that's so disgusting. That's so disgusting! God. So bad, man. It's so bad. My shoulder. My shoulder's killing me. At the end of the day, instead of trying to fix stuff here, they're just shifting blame around. You know what? I think we should all hate them more than we do. It's not enough. God, it's so disgusting. So disgusting. And to finish for today, we're going to the UK. Number checks on knife sales, fast tracked after Southport attack. I almost said South Park. My dyslexia is showing all this. So bad in English. This is from 3 days ago. The UK being a joke, it keeps happening. It is that bad. People trying to buy knives online will face tougher measures to prove their age under new restrictions being brought forward in the wake of the Southport knife attack. I saw Runa Cubana, who has admitted murdering 3 young girls last July, bought a knife from Amazon when he was just 17. I might, do you have a license for the knife? They're making the meme real. It's so ass. Despite existing laws which prohibit the sale of most knives to under 18s. Wasn't it a kitchen knife? Do you know that a lot of kitchens, if not most kitchens, have kitchen knives? Also, killing people is really easy. The problem here is not buying the knives. The problem here is having a guy with the determination of murdering 3 young girls. I shouldn't need to say this, but it's current year. You'll never know. Online retailers will be forced to ask anyone buying a knife for 2 types of identification under government plans. 2 types of identification. The buyers asked to submit an identity document such as passport, or record a live video to prove their age. UK. Quite literally a surveillance state, and it's only getting worse. God, what the fuck. Amazon has said it takes its responsibility around the sale of all age-restricted items, including belated products, extremely seriously. It has launched an investigation. In opinion piece for the Sun newspaper, Prime Minister Sir... Is he actually Sir? Keir Starmer wrote that it remains shockingly easy for our children to get their hands on deadly knives. Yes, because they are common tools, what do you mean? Killing people is really easy. What's gonna be next? Chairs? Rocks? Hands? Stop it. The lessons of this case could not be clearer, he said. Tammy Gang as a child, the Southport murderer carried knives. Tammy Gang, he showed clear intent to use them. The problem is not the knives. The problem is the clear intent of wanting to harm people. How is this so difficult to understand? Am I going crazy? Don't answer that. It's a yes, okay, it's a yes, I'm going crazy. And yet, tragically, he was still able to order the mortal weapon of the internet without any checks or barriers. A 2-click killer. This cannot continue. We had to show an image about the murderer. Or not. The Sir of Cell, former chief prosecutor for Northwest England, told the BBC that anything that will make it more difficult for a violent offender to get hold of a weapon should be welcomed. It was important that the law was properly enforced. Okay, what would you say a weapon is? Something that can be used to harm someone else. Perhaps. Or perhaps designed to do that. And the thing is, you can harm anyone using literally anything. Do you know you can punch people to death? You can choke them to death and whatnot? That's not the problem. I will see them banning having arms at this rate, instead of tackling their actual problem. Strong ID checks are one of the proposals from a review of online knife sales being carried out for the government by Commander. I almost read it as Comrade. That would be a little bit too obvious, I feel. Stephen Clayman, the National Police Chiefs Council's lead for knife crime. Knife! At present, customers ordering knives on Amazon, for example, are asked to enter their date of birth, told proof of age, and a signature will be required on your delivery. Zombie knives still for sale online despite ban. God, so ass. Commander Clayman had been due to report at the end of this month, but the plans are now being brought forward and will be incorporated into the Crime and Policing Bill, due to be presented to Parliament this spring. They're just like ostriches, hiding their head into dirt. You cannot say it. What's the problem? It's so obvious, but you cannot say it. They're gonna throw you in jail. It's actually happening in the UK. It is that bad. Sources currently do not tell the authorities who they have denied selling a knife to, and so this information is not centrally recorded. Former prosecutor Mr. Afzal told BBC Breakfast. BBC Breakfast. I could make a joke about that, but this is already a joke. Mr. Afzal said he hoped the new regulations will include the stipulations, as well as a ban on deliveries when someone's age is unverified, database of individuals who should be restricted from buying knives, and enhanced penalties for sales who fall foul of the rules. Okay, why don't you get these people, these criminals, and kick them out? How about that one? The reality, of course, is that violent people will use whatever weapons they have. That's what I'm saying. You are doing nothing. It doesn't matter. The problem is not the weapons themselves. But when we talk specifically about knives, this access which particularly young people and people with violent histories have has to be addressed. Young people? People with violent histories? Nice code words. Also, if we're gonna talk about weapons, sure, the USA, but the USA is so violent with their Second Amendment. Well, no, it's not the Second Amendment's fault. If you go to Switzerland, they have a lot of guns too, and their crime rate is extremely low. So it's not about the weapons, it's not about being able to have weapons, it's about the people. The government, which has pledged to halve knife crime over the next decade, previously announced new sanctions, including personal fines, for executives at tech companies which fail to tackle illegal knife sales on their platforms. I've seen them taking knives that are, they're so dangerous. And it's just the stupid knife you use to spread some butter on your toast, because even though they are designed for fish and sometimes some sort of meat, they're useless. It's impossible to cut with them. And they're rounded, so you cannot even stab with them. Maybe an eye, but eyes are really weak. You have fingers still. The last decade has seen a significant rise in knife crime. I wonder why. With the number of serious offenses in England and Wales in the year ending March 2024 up 54% on the equivalent figure for 2016. The technology is there to set up age verification checks in for kitchen knives ordered online. Circular rods in the sun. If you go to your kitchen, I'm pretty sure you have several knives. You can kill people with that. And did you buy them? Maybe. Maybe not, I don't remember. So also, can't you go? I don't know how it works in the UK. I don't really want to know. But if you go to some sort of shop, right? Can't you buy just knives? I think that's pretty common, because you use them when you're eating, right? Am I crazy? Don't answer that. We must now use it to protect our children from future attack, and it will ensure that this happens. Mr. Prime Minister, there are better ways to protect your children than that, but sure, keep coping. A spokesperson for Amazon said, "We use trusted ID verification services to check name, date of birth, and to trace details whenever an order is placed for displayed items. We have an age verification on the delivery process that requires drivers to verify the recipient's age through an app on their devices before handing over a parcel containing an age-restricted item." God, the UK is so gay. And you thought the gay ones were the French? They're not much better. Are they better even? I don't know. I don't like them. I think they're doing fine anyway. On Monday, on the first day of this trial, Ruda Cabana pleaded guilty to the murder of 6-year-old Bebe King, 7-year-old Elsie Dot, Stancomb, and 9-year-old Alex De Silva Aguirre at a Taylor Swift themed dance class last July. None of these names look remotely English. Perhaps BB King, because King, but I don't know, this looks from a Latin language. Health Secretary Yvette Cooper told the Camus it was a total disgrace that Fruta Cubana had been easily able to order a knife on Amazon, despite his age, as well as a prior conviction for a violent offense against another child at the school. Don't you think this is actually the problem? The prior conviction for a violent offense against another child at the school? I don't know, I think that's something obvious. How is that so difficult to understand? Well, it's really easy to understand, but the politicians hate you and want you dead, and replaced with immigrants. At least it looks like that. Also being referred to prevent the government's anti-extremism program on 3 separate occasions between 2019 and 2021, and admitted to carrying a knife more than 10 times. I don't think the problem isn't the knives. I think the problem isn't the people. People are not doing so great lately. Brain-wise. So that's going to happen. That's going to happen. Also, as per usual, it's really obvious, but once again, if you keep importing certain types of people, well, you know what's gonna happen, because it's been happening for quite some time. It's not just the UK, but God, it keeps happening. Oh man. Shoulder, please. Stop killing me. Never get old, guys. Never get old. It's not cool. So my throat is a little bit fucked today. I guess I can mention what or why. I think it's okay. I'm planning on making a video. Short video. It's gonna be just funny. Not wrong, what is said in the video, but still, it's supposed to be mainly funny. And I've been recording some stuff, and yeah, my throat is going to hate me after that. I will take it easy because I clearly don't know what I'm doing with that. So, and there's that, you know. Oh man. No, I think that's gonna be everything for me today. Speaking of, you know, the DI nonsense, I've been looking at the... As a side note, I should have mentioned this before. I've been looking at the usual suspects, but they don't have anything new yet. So I guess I will have to wait and see if they show their ugly heads. Okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna be everything for me today. So, plan for next week. Plan for next week. More Ocarina of Time. Probably Monday. More Loop Hero. Probably Thursday. And Wednesday, I was thinking maybe we could check out that demo for the first Berserker Kazan game. It released recently. I need to look it up, and it could be interesting. It's like within 3 to 4 hours, so Wednesday I think it makes sense. And obviously Saturday more shit like this. More reading the current events. That's the plan. Maybe we should start doing some sort of schedule, at least on the YouTube community tab. I think that could be useful. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. So yeah, thank you for coming. I heard you had some fun. I don't know. We didn't really have fun stuff for today, sadly. But fuck me, bullshit. But yeah, I think it's still important what we were talking about, you know. We'll come back on Monday, probably with some Ocarina of Time. And until then, you know the rules, and so do I. Oh god, what am I doing here? There we go. I'll see you on Monday, and until then, take care.